in today's session, I'm going to give you the line-by-line explanation of haunted houses written by H.W. Longfellow. Please take out your treasure chest book, page number 37, and read this section because this is really important for you. The phantoms in Longfellow's poem Haunted Houses are neither mischievous poltergeists, mischievous naughty, and what is the meaning of the term poltergeist? A ghost or other supernatural being supposedly responsible for physical disturbances such as making loud noises and throwing objects about. In this poem, Longfellow has not presented us with the conventional image of spirits, of ghosts. These phantoms over here are not naughty poltergeists. They do not cause any disturbance. They are not angry spirits also. They are not spooky. They are not scary. And they seek no harm. They are harmless, inoffensive, because they are simply the souls of the dear departed. हम जिन्हें प्यार करते हैं, जब वो इस दुनिया को छोड़ के चले जाते हैं तो वो सोल्स बन जाते हैं, फैंटम्स बन जाते हैं, और वो हमें दिखाई नहीं देते हैं मगर वो हमेशा हमारे साथ ही रहते हैं in the form of ethereal entities, intangible entities. So tangible, perceptible by touch, intangible, which cannot be perceived by touch, and these phantoms are intangible, ethereal entities. This is the theme of this poem, memory. And they linger in our memories. यादों में ये हमेशा हमारे साथ ही रहते हैं. And therefore in our lives and homes. So there is a connection with the past because of these memories. And therefore they have an impact in our lives and homes. Dear students, try to understand this concept, and this poem is going to be really easy and simple for you. They seem to share our living spaces. हमारे चारों ओर ये spirits, ये phantoms रहते हैं. ये हमें दिखाई नहीं देते हैं. They are intangible. मगर वो हमेशा, they are constantly present all around us and silently observe, perhaps even join in our daily activities at the table, at the fireside. They float, they waft, they glide about us, and we feel somehow that they are connected to us for all time. There is a connection. There is a link between two worlds, afterlife and life on earth. We have the theme of mortality, transitory nature of man's life on earth as well as afterlife in this poem. एक bridge है. हम वो ब्रिज क्रॉस नहीं कर सकते हैं मगर ये souls of our loved ones, they can make a cross between the two worlds. The poem's regular rhythm and rhyming structure and its gentle one. What is the rhythm? What is the tone? It's gentle, evoke a feeling of peace and solace. Very important, peace, solace, डरावना नहीं है. The poet does not evoke an eerie atmosphere in the poem. So the atmosphere presented over here is peaceful and there is solace, a sense of security. डरावना नहीं है ये phantoms. They present us, they give us a sense of security that is not often associated with the notion of haunting. What is the conventional image associated with haunting? Eerie atmosphere, loneliness, darkness. It is not a good thing, bad omen. But here, the phantoms are really pleasant and they do not harm us in any way. Instead of that, what do? They symbolize memory, legacy, passage of time, and they are enduring imprints of history upon the minds of the present occupants. So this is the meaning. Longfellow's assertion that all houses are haunted houses is comforting. rather than menacing, threatening नहीं है ये. An acknowledgement that our loved ones, although no longer with us, they have died, their body is not there with us anymore, their earthly existence has ceased, but they will continue to walk among us as long as they live in our memories. So enduring imprints of history and everlasting memory. Memory as a theme is very, very important over here. Now, dear students, quickly jot down the themes of what are the themes of this poem. Quickly take down the notes. I will tell them one by one. Number 1, past, present and future. Number 2, mortality and afterlife. Number 3, materialism versus spirituality. Number 4, the unseen and the unknown. And number 5, duality of human nature. And one important thing that you must note down, the reassuring presence of the spirits in our lives. Reassuring. They are not menacing, they are not threatening. Haunted houses. Figure of speech, alliteration. This is important. The figures of speech used in the poem. This is an example of alliteration, and haunted houses used metaphorically as well. I'll explain everything to you, but before that, let me just discuss a little bit about the setting. The setting of the poem is not specific real place, but rather an old house filled with memories of people who have lived and died there. This house is like any other house where families have lived and they have shared their lives together over many years. And the setting extends beyond the physical house, with the poet describing a spiritual world around our physical one. And the spirit world is imagined as a kind of invisible atmosphere that is everywhere and cannot be seen. And the poet also speaks of a mysterious bridge of light which connects the real world to this spirit world. And the opening is not spooky, it is not scary. Keep this in mind. All houses wherein men have lived and died are haunted houses. The first line sets the premise. So, every house in which people have lived and died is metaphorically haunted. हम जो घर में रहते हैं वो भी metaphorically haunted house है. The haunting, ये haunting क्या है? The haunting represents the memories and the history of the people who once lived in those houses. Through the open doors, the harmless. Observe this adjective over here. The harmless phantoms, they are not harmful, not angry spirits who seek to do any harm, nor mischievous poltergeists. Through the open doors, the harmless phantoms on their errands glide with feet that make no sound upon the floors. He refers to the spirits as harmless phantoms. He is stressing upon the fact that they are not terrifying, they are not scary, but rather peaceful echoes of the past. These phantoms are silent, invisible entities who go about their daily tasks. Errands का क्या मतलब है? Daily tasks, much like the people who once lived there did. हमारी तरह, living human beings की तरह, ये phantoms भी अपना काम करते हैं, and they do it silently. They do not disturb the human beings, the present occupants of the house. So this is the meaning. And haunted, it means visited by ghosts or spirits. Here it is used metaphorically. Write down the metaphorical meaning of the word haunted. It is used metaphorically in the poem to represent the presence of memories or the spirits of those who have lived and died in a house. Phantoms क्या है? Ghosts or apparitions, often used to describe something that seems to appear but is not physically present. Intangible entities. Intangible, something which is not perceptible by touch. Our senses, we cannot perceive them with the help of our senses. They are intangible. An errand. What is the meaning of errands? A short journey undertaken to deliver or collect something, often on someone else's behalf. Here, it is used metaphorically to indicate the daily tasks that the phantom spirits are imagined to be doing. So, this is the imagination of the poet. शायद हमारे चारों ओर हमेशा phantoms रहते हैं. We meet them at the doorway. कहाँ पे? At the doorway, on the stair, सीढ़ियों के पास, doorway के पास, along the passages they come and go. Just imagine the image. Perhaps you are standing at the mouth of a long dark passage. You will be scared. But here the phantoms are found along the passages. But you need not be scared of them. क्योंकि ये phantoms डरावने नहीं हैं. These phantoms are not going to harm us in any way. They come and go without any obstruction. Smooth transition between the real world and the spirit world. They glide. A smooth transition without disturbing anybody. Impalpable impressions on the air. Very, very important. Learn this. Learn this quotation. They are impalpable impressions on the air. Question में अगर आए, how does the poet describe the phantoms? Quote, harmless, impalpable impressions on the air, and we will also see that they are called inoffensive ghosts in the third stanza. So learn the key words and expressions from here to write your answer. Impalpable, not able to be felt by touch, not easily comprehended. These spirits are constantly around us in the doorways and the passages of the house, on the stairs. Although they cannot be sensed physically by our senses, they leave impalpable impressions upon us, and these impressions are subtle, intangible feelings of their presence. So learn this term, intangible. I am using this again and again. Intangible, very important. There are more guests at table than the hosts invited. The illuminated hall is thronged, is crowded with quiet, inoffensive ghosts. So quiet, another adjective, inoffensive ghosts, as silent, a simile, as the pictures on the wall. So figure of speech, write down. Simile, as silent as the pictures on the wall. Very, very important. Now, the poet here uses the imagery of a dining table to depict the lasting impact of the past on our present lives. The guests that the hosts did not invite are the silent, omnipresent spirits. Omnipresent, why? Because they are constantly around us and they are present everywhere. What is the meaning of illuminated? Lit up or made visible. This is significant. Where do you find ghosts? In darkness, at night, when you are lonely. But here, there is illumination. There are lights all around, and there are people as well, guests as well. But there are ghosts also. Coexistence, and this coexistence is peaceful. The illuminated hall is thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts, as silent as the crowds on the wall. So if there is a crowd in any place, what do you expect? You expect noise, you expect chaos. But here, there is mutual coexistence because these spirits are really quiet, inoffensive ghosts, and they are silent. They are as quiet and unobtrusive as the pictures hanging on the wall. Hosts कौन है? Here in this poem, it refers to the people who live in the house and who might be hosting a gathering or a meal. Inoffensive. Objectionable nahi hai, offensive nahi hai. The stranger at my fireside cannot see the forms I see. Forms. These spirits do not have bodies. They do not have any physical existence. They are just forms. And the stranger at the poet's fireside cannot see the forms. He cannot perceive these entities. The speaker shares that while others may not perceive these spirits, he can see and hear them. He has this quality. I see nor hear the sounds I hear. He can hear the spirits and he can see them. Others cannot see them. He but perceives what is. So it is all about perception. This suggests the speaker's acute awareness and understanding of the impact of history and past lives on his current existence. He but perceives what is, while unto me all that has been is visible and clear. Everything is visible to the speaker. It is clear. We have no title deeds to house or lands. We human beings have no title deeds to house or lands. How is this even possible? Human beings are not the real owners of their houses or lands. This presents the paradoxical idea of ownership. Figure of speech, paradox. Owners and occupants of earlier dates. Owners and occupants. Again, alliteration. From graves forgotten, stretch their dusty hands. Here again we have another figure of speech, personification, and hold in mortmain still their old estates. Here the speaker asserts the fleeting nature of material possessions. Despite people's claims to lands or houses, the spirits, symbolically, the spirits of the past continue to hold their estates, and this signifies the permanence of our spiritual legacies over material possessions. What is the meaning of mortmain? Mortmain means a legal term referring to the perpetual, inalienable ownership of lands. In the poem, it is used metaphorically to imply the lasting ownership of past occupants over the house. Title deeds क्या है? Legal document है constituting evidence of a right, especially to ownership of property. Human beings must be the real owners of the property, but here, paradoxically, the spirits, the owners and occupants of earlier dates, means of the past, they are the real owners. Hence, in this context, it is used to symbolize the reach or influence of the past occupants. Spirit world around this world of sense. Two worlds, spirit world, world of sense. The earthly existence, the physical world, which can be perceived with the help of the sense organs, floats like an atmosphere. So description of the spirit world. The spirit world around this world of sense floats like an atmosphere. Simile, floats like an atmosphere, and everywhere walks through these earthly mists and vapors dense, a vital breath of more ethereal air. The speaker explains the coexistence of the spirit world with the physical one, surrounding our sense-bound world like an atmosphere. The spirit world, like an atmosphere, envelops our surroundings, envelops the physical world. This realm is described as an ethereal air permeating through the dense mists of our earthly existence. हमारी चारों ओर ये spirit world present है. कैसे? like an atmosphere. You all know what is atmosphere, the layer of gases surrounding our planet. In this poem, it is used to represent the pervasive spirit world around the physical world. And wafts, pass or cause to pass easily or gently through or as if through the air. And vapors, here it may refer to something that is illusory, insubstantial or fleeting. Ethereal, extremely delicate, light or out of this world. The term can refer to something heavenly or spiritual. A vital breath of more ethereal air. Our little lives are kept in equipoise. Equipoise, balance. Little lives, alliteration. Little lives stands for transitory nature of human life on earth. No man is immortal. We are all mortals. We will die one day. Therefore, lives are little lives. Our little lives are kept in equipoise. Here, we have the idea of the transitory nature of life on earth, mortality of man throughout the poem. One who is born will die and one day become a phantom, a spirit, a memory. Our little lives are kept in equipoise by opposite attractions and desires. Opposite, duality of human nature. Opposite attractions, base instincts. There are two types of instincts. Base instincts that seek worldly pleasures and enjoyment and desires, and noble instincts that aspire for higher and noble goals and spiritual aims. So here we have the theme of duality of humans and duality of human nature, in fact, and there is this struggle between our physical desires and spiritual aspirations. And here this is apparent in these lines, in this stanza. The struggle, there is a continuous struggle. हमेशा हम struggle करते हैं enjoyment, materialism और spirituality के बीच में हम फंसे हैं. There is this constant tug of war of the instinct that enjoys materialism and the noble instinct that aspires. So, materialism versus spirituality. These perturbations, this perpetual jar, perturbations, again this perpetual jar, P and P, alliteration. Figure of speech is alliteration. And these perturbations, disturbances or changes in the normal state or regular movement of something, this perpetual jar of earthly wants and aspirations high. The duality of human nature, earthly wants, we have earthly wants and we have high aspirations, come from the influence of an unseen star, an undiscovered planet in our sky. The perpetual jar of earthly wants and aspirations high. Again, this is an example of personification as well. Here, the speaker suggests that the constant tension we feel between our physical desires and spiritual aspirations is influenced by an unseen force, described metaphorically as an unseen star or an undiscovered planet. This could represent the divine or unknown forces that guide our lives actually. And as the moon from some dark gate of cloud throws over the sea a floating bridge of light, across whose trembling planks our fancies crowd into the realm of mystery and night. Here we have personification once again. Here Longfellow introduces the metaphor of a bridge of light formed by the moonlight across the sea. This bridge, upon which our thoughts and fancies traverse, leads us into a realm of mystery and darkness, possibly representing the unknown or the spiritual world. So, there are two worlds, the earthly existence as well as the world of spirituality, world of spiritualism. Again, we have the seen and the unseen as a theme in this poem. Very, very important. It suggests the existence of mysteries beyond our immediate understanding which continuously influence our lives. There are many things which are intangible. Spirits are part of that mysterious world of the unknown, the unseen. सबको इस चीज के बारे में पता नहीं है, मगर जो स्पीकर है, he can clearly understand that and he can clearly see the spirits coming and going and traveling between the two worlds. So from the world of spirits there descends a bridge of light connecting it with us. There is a connection between the two worlds, over whose unsteady floor that sways and bends wander our thoughts above the dark abyss. What is the meaning of abyss? Quickly write down the meaning. Abyss means a deep, immeasurable space, gulf or cavity, an unfathomable chasm. In the poem, it represents the unknown or the unknowable. Unsteady, likely to fall or change, not steady. The final lines of the poem compare the bridge of moonlight to a similar bridge connecting the world of spirits with our physical world. And this ethereal bridge sways and bends, perhaps representing the uncertainty and instability of the understanding of the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is still unknown and human beings cannot completely grasp the idea of the unknown. So there is a sense of uncertainty and instability of our understanding of the spiritual realm. Our thoughts wander across this bridge, suggesting our attempt to understand and connect with the mysteries of the spiritual world. So human beings have their limitations, but the phantoms, they can easily come and go. They move between the two worlds, the spirit world as well as the physical world. The poet thus has compared the ethereal image of moonlight floating across the ocean waves with a bridge of light that descends from the world of spirits to earth, and from this world the spirits come to our lives. The unsteady floor of the bridge can be crossed only by these immortal beings and not by the human beings. Why? Because human beings do not have a clear understanding of the unknown and the unseen, the unexplored realms of life. Thus, the bridge of light. A bridge of light is a metaphor for the connection between the physical world and the spiritual world. Dear students, this is the end of today's session.